I have a zoom out proposal. Well, it's not that zoom out, but I want to read this quote, and then maybe that will bring us into the like after effects discussion. So I have this like report from the co-founder of Reserve, which is like a protocol that has another collateralized stablecoin. And this person, we wrote an in-depth about the Luna. We at OKX Insights, Rick wrote an in-depth about the Terra Luna stuff the other day and like quoted from this report. It's like an unpublished report. It's circulating, the Google Doc thing that we do sometimes. And I want to read from that report from the Reserve co-founder, just like I think we also quoted in our article, because it's like it's a bold statement. So this is a statement. It is essential that we do not allow algorithmic stablecoins. We do not allow algorithmic stablecoins to be used as a savings and spending tool by the broad population. It's not practically feasible for every individual to become an expert on monetary dynamics before they decide which financial products to rely on. As an industry, we absolutely must call out any further attempt at popularization of algorithmic stablecoins among non-sophisticated users, and our exchanges and wallets must not support their mainstream use. I am really curious if you have thoughts on that.
That's an interesting take. On the one hand, I kind of agree because there's a lot of risks that are still to be determined for algo stablecoins that make them really inappropriate for people that don't understand the risks of what they're actually buying, right? At the same time, I kind of struggle to reconcile that with my belief that a lot of these products should be available to the vast majority of investors to allow people to make their own decisions. Like, I kind of am not a fan of this, like, oh, we're only offering certain securities to like registered accredited investors, whatever it is. And there is also this other element of, I think that algorithmic stablecoins is an area where there can be interesting work done. For example, Frax is someone who's doing some interesting mechanics on algo stablecoins where, the yield that they are offering on Frax is significantly lower than UST, but they also have some models that they have created, for example, which like automatically arbitrage some pools they have, and that is how yield is being generated, right? So rather than subsidizing yield, a lot of it is being generated organically, and then they adjust the collateralization ratio of their stablecoin algorithmically. Like, that's where the algorithm comes in based on a floating level, right? Versus like having it fixed and assuming it immutable. So in broad strokes, I would say that like I don't disagree with that statement, but like on the nuance, I hate to like rule off some of the assets that could potentially make crypto really interesting over a longer term time horizon because we deem them too unsafe right now. There is like this element of being able to create novel products via on-chain mechanisms that could create like some really interesting synergies. But that said, for right now, I'm kind of like in that camp, especially after this meltdown.